Agent Romanoff. You miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man. Hey everyone.
Hey guys, and welcome to Filmartsy, your #1 source for all things films and movies. And with the upcoming Thor Love and Thunder movie, a much anticipated sequel to Thor Ragnarok that plans to not only continue the story of Chris Hemsworth's Thor character, but also branch out and bring back an older character from the first two Thor movies. It's definitely something a lot of people have been talking about. And now it's starting to look like we have a clearer image as to why Natalie Portman decided to jump back on board on the MCU for the future and what type of involvement she will have as taking on this role of a female Thor, along with maybe looking back at some of the reasons she left in the first place and maybe what has changed along the way. So let's go ahead and jump into this, but real quick, we wanted to give a shout out to our Marvel Monday winner. If you guys didn't know, every single Monday we ask a challenging trivia question over on our community tab, so make sure you guys are subscribed with notifications on for a chance to participate in our community questions over on our community tab. If you answer correctly, you have a chance to have your comment featured right here. So it looks like, as it turns out, way back when Thor The Dark World was filming, Marvel, of course, had ended up choosing to fire the female director, Patty Jenkins. Now, reports from back then indicated that Natalie Portman during that time was not very happy with Marvel's decision, and Marvel had cited that it was just based off of creative differences. Now, Patty Jenkins did go on to create the Wonder Woman movie, which was really fantastic. And remember, back during the earlier times, female representation in the film industry, as far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe was concerned, was pretty lackluster. Unfortunately, at the time of Patty Jenkins' firing, though, Natalie Portman was locked in contract, had to finish filming the movie, and it is possible that just the atmosphere of losing a co-worker or working with someone very close to you that you're good friends with could be kind of a downer on the set. We've seen a lot of times in the film industry where a director leaves, and it does leave some disgruntled cast members. And while we believe that this would probably have some major ties as to why she chose not to return for Thor Ragnarok, maybe the more recent shift of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to focus on having more representation across the entire industry with the types of people that are hired to either star in movies or to direct the movies has been getting larger from a Marvel perspective, and possibly Taika Waititi, the director of Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder, kind of convinced Natalie Portman to jump back on board. Now, we know that Natalie Portman had no real involvement in Thor Ragnarok whatsoever, though she did actually come back a little while earlier than a lot of people remember. But back in Avengers Endgame, Natalie Portman did provide some new voiceover lines for the background of the movie when you see her kind of talking in the distance, and we had to see Thor and stuff duck away. Now, what's really interesting, though, is a lot of people know that, for the most part, they were using recycled footage from Thor The Dark World, which is accurate. However, Natalie Portman did go into a recording studio and recorded a couple of extra voice lines along the way, and did show up at the premiere for Avengers Endgame also. So back then, it seemed like the relationship between her and Marvel were getting better, and of course, when they decided to agree on bringing her back for the character, fans across the globe were absolutely excited. And it is interesting to see, with this movie getting closer to release, seeing the history of a character like this, who's been there since the beginning of the MCU, is really cool to see make a return. We really like to see a lot of these older characters come back after they've maybe been in the background for a while. We saw that with Gwyneth Paltrow a little bit, where she missed out on a few movies that Tony Stark was in, but then she made a return and fans were excited to see her again. There's a lot of other characters out there that people would like to see return again in the future. Like, for instance, we don't even know whatever happened to Betty Ross from The Incredible Hulk, but it was cool when we saw General Thaddeus Ross make an appearance in Civil War. So they've been bringing older characters back periodically throughout the course of the MCU, and this might just be another example of a character making a return, but maybe in an even bigger way. And maybe this will open up the doors to the possibility of more actors and cast members making a return after being away from the MCU for quite some time. There's still quite a few cast members who were in the first two Thor movies that kind of quickly and abruptly disappeared with Thor Ragnarok. It'd be really cool to see the return of those characters in the future of the MCU, just because it's been so long since we've actually have even gotten to see them. And it seems like while Thor was kind of in a weird place after its second movie came back, it really hit its stride coincide with Thor Ragnarok. They seem to have a really good team working on it, and maybe some of these characters could be integrated back into the series and be really interesting. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on for more videos like this. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video.
I'm about to.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Hi.
See you guys.
Know anybody?